let's just talk about the meaning of the word Bardo, where it derives from, how it became the basis for this film, and what was your inspiration for it?
Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. We are very excited to be here. We just took a plane from Morelia Film Festival in Mexico, having a lot of mezcal and chilaquiles. So the heart is very happy. The stomach is hurt. But always arriving to New York is so like electrifying. Anyway, Bardo is this Buddhist term for describing this space in between one place and the other, which can be death, to be alive, or to be death. And after death, what's coming, I don't know, nobody has the answer, but it's that space where something, in a way, died, and it can be an idea, it can be a belief, it can be a faith, it can be your memories, it can be your intellectual beliefs, and then you are in this transition from one place to the other. And in this case, it's all what this character was going through, you know. And that's basically that space.
What was the inspiration for the film? Was there honestly, it was about 6 years between actually starting to write it and then production, finishing? What was the inspiration for it? Was there anything in particular that inspired you?
I think that, you know, I have been doing films for 20 years and seeing things and seeing the world with my eyes, seeing outside. And this time, I close my eyes. And when you close your eyes, then, you know, instead of looking outside, then you're looking inwards. And that's infinite. And that's something that it's an interesting moment. It's an interesting exercise to do and see what you see and what you found. And I felt the need to do that. And I think it has to do with my age. This white hair only start calling me. And you find that you are closer to that last migration, which is all the migration that we all will do. And then it's to put peace with some emotions and thoughts and things that doesn't make sense by decisions that you have made, and the contradictions that life is made that doesn't make sense, but you try to make sense of them. And then looking inward, basically you find all these images, and then you try to put them together. And with this chaotic kind of material, this is what came.
And it is extraordinary in so many ways. Danielle, bravo on a phenomenal performance. Filmmakers, I'm wondering what conversations you had with Alejandro that helped you understand who Soberio was and what were his motivations and what part of him merged into yourself, and maybe what part of yourself merged into him.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, people, for being here. Thank you very much. I had a long conversation instead of a proper casting. This guy just wanted to talk with me, and we had a very long conversation, like for 4 or 5 hours. He was questioning me, my life, the process of my life, what moment was I, how was I looking in the future, my family, the relation with my son's daughter, my wife, and because he was looking for somebody that could understand him, I guess. That could be in the same process, you know, of the life, in the same life process. So after that conversation, and it's very funny that I started to tell him about some guided meditation I did 3 weeks before, and I was telling him the images. I had that guided meditation, and he was pausing. I was like, it seems that you already read the script. I was quite.
It was a hacker. A spiritual hacker.
Then I said to myself, that role is mine for sure. Too much of a coincidence. But then I knew there was so much material of his life, but then it became very easy and very fast my life. I was never trying to portray him. For me, it was a fiction character, And as we know, in acting, you bring all your experience, all that you are, to a character. But the difference here is that I never, with Alejandro, we never designed the character. We never built the character as I normally do. So every day was like, how do you feel today? That's the way the character is going to be. Yeah, just learning the lines very well, and that's all. And let it happen. Just be there, be present, and let it happen. That was the mantra.
That's a great segue to my next question, which is obviously everything is so planned and so carefully choreographed and written through, but I'm interested in the rehearsal period for some of those amazing long shots, including the extraordinary club scene, and how that helped root you to the character and where you sort of found yourself during the rehearsal process. And were there parts that merged into other parts, or were there aspects to it that you found within the rehearsal process? I'm just curious about how that came about.
Well, the rehearsal there, it was more a technical rehearsal because of the camera. You saw the camera that never stops, so like you go first and then you go there. No, that was too late, whatever. More than a choreographic stuff, like the dancing. He never asked me. I think he let me really free. Absolutely free. There was a dancing coach that was telling me, hey, can you try this? Or maybe this will help you. Not more than that. The place where we shoot it, it's very familiar for me. It's a place where I've made hundreds of parties. So for me, it was like, oh, the rehearsal was done. So, and also that way of dancing like yourself, completely free, like that also is something I do myself. So it was very easy to do, very organic. We had a good relation with the family, so everything was so organic, natural, and extremely easy. Yeah.
Well, every bend of the elbow or tilt of their head tells us something else about Severia, which I think is an amazing part of that sequence and the whole film in general. Again, congratulations as well on your amazing performance. How did you like? How do you feel about the casting process and how you became aware of the film?
The casting process. So it was different for me. It was not just one conversation. There was many auditions and callbacks, and then chemistry reads with this man and this man, and a lot of connection. I already instantly felt that I connected with Daniel, and also with Alejandro. And I did talk to him. Like first thing, we just talked for around an hour. Like, where are you from? And I didn't know anything about the character, about her background, just about these two scenes that I had to audition with. And I just remember letting go and just surrendering, saying, how many of people could get cast in this, or have the, what are the chances of me working with this great director after really not having done anything at that point. And I just surrendered, and I was like, trust yourself, and it's meant to be, it's going to be, and so it was. And then it was great. That was in February-ish, and then I actually here at the park till May. So for a few months, I was also had to surrender to that, like let it go. Like I had to have to go on. And then we didn't film until the next year. So when you get cast, sometimes people tell you don't, it's not official until you start filming. So then I had to, wait about 7 months to really feel that I was going to be coming up, but it happened.
And one of the things I love about the relationship between Camilla and Severia is that there's so much love and honesty there. We see it in the pool scene, and so much of that father-daughter relationship that she's a conscience for him in a lot of ways, but she's also a sounding board. There's a lot of complexity there. Talk to me about some of the scenes that you really like that kind of really connected to you, that you found a real connection with Danielle and finding that father and daughter all about.
Absolutely. I think the pool scene was so well written that it just gave me it has such a beautiful arc where it begins really melancholic and nostalgic, and then she ends up laughing with her father and breaking that boundary that, even though sometimes our parents, we don't connect fully, and it's like, they don't get it, I'm trying to express this way. And with Daniel in that scene at the end, Daniel does express with Severia, she does get to him. She does, like I said, she's part of, you know, conscious of him, and he also, you know, he makes a move to come to her, which I love that. I'm like, oh, I have to. And then it happens to be a beautiful connection that I love when I get out with my parents, which is seldom, you know, it's, you know, we don't live with them anymore. And then I was also thinking the other day about how when you're a kid, you just think your parents know everything, and they're these gods. And then you grow up and you kind of are like, wait, they're also just as lost as me. And so that connection, that really seemed was when I just had so much fun filming that. We shot out for 2 days. It was really great.
In fact, I love that the two of them sort of find common ground in trying to figure out life as they're sort of, you know, having those conversations about it. They're both sort of in another world, as it were. Yeah. Iñárritu, this is your feature film debut. Congratulations. Alejandro, I hope you developed the character of Severio's son, Lorenzo, and kind of figure out what was going on inside of him.
There was really no character construction. He gave us the freedom of doing whatever we felt it was right. He just gave us like the full context of what he's been through, and that was it. He just, I believe he was really focused on wanting the cast to connect more than individually each character develop something. Well, that was what I got from the beginning. He wanted us to connect with Daniel and Marcel especially. And it worked. It worked really naturally, really fast. And I don't know, we did like a super team. I was just, like Amanda said, like surrendering to this situation that presented in my life, which was really something new. And he always tried to make me feel that I was capable of doing whatever he wanted us to do. So everything came naturally. Anything that was forced or put on, we had a lot of freedom. And we were like playing with the family on set, and when we got to filming, it was just okay, action, and we do it, and I love this, and then again, I love this, and we kind of, with rehearsing a lot, we kind of got to this point where the scene was where we wanted it to be.
By the way, giving us a good opportunity to ask for a round of applause. We've heard results. The layers of understanding to Lorenzo, because he's the youngest son and also a son after they have lost one already, a newborn child. I'm wondering if that aspect of him completed your performance in some ways, understanding of where he was in the family and what the dynamic would be between himself and his parents.
Well, he was in a kind of Bardo too at the same time, because he was living in another place and then coming back to the place where they want him to call home, and he doesn't feel like it. And then he's kind of lost because he doesn't understand why he had to leave his home, called home. You know, and when he comes back, it's like I don't feel like this is my home because I've been out my whole life. And it's in this the kitchen scene where he kind of confronts his dad. He starts first questioning him about the unconscious of his work, and after that he kind of presses the wrong button on me, and then I kind of blow up a little bit. And I tell him it's just honesty, right? What the character goes through that scene, I believe, is just honesty, which is something I think the character is really hard, has a really hard time doing, because sometimes he's really reserved, and then when he does this, it's like it's a huge thing for him, and yeah.
Well, there's so much of the performance included, so much honesty, and so beautiful. And you mentioned home, and Alejandro, let's talk about returning to Mexico to film there for the first time in over 20 years, and the notions of what it was, what it is for you now, and even the self that you were at that time, putting all those different aspects of yourself into the film.
Yeah, I think the process was actually like a meta process, because obviously the film's about this character, Silverio Gama, that is going to this moment to confront his past in the country that he does not belong, or he don't feel he belong anymore. He's not from there, he's not from here. So he's struggling with all this reintegration, disintegration, his affections, his connections, his roots, the things that has changed, the thing that he left that doesn't exist anymore, the expectations of people of him that he is not anymore. So anyway, the process of making the film of me, I go often to Mexico, obviously, but shooting is another thing, to work with a huge amount of people, and so the way I have been developed the work that I'm doing, with the way they work down there, it's a different thing. So all that process with even family or collaborators was a process of understanding that was informing me. And it was informing me how good, how close, how faithful, how clever was the script itself. So it was very interesting for me to be going through exactly the same as Daniel, as Silverio was going.
So many of your films are so heartfelt and deal with the human experience in lots of different ways. Was it challenging to kind of go deep inside yourself and find some of these things that maybe hadn't worked their way into your films previously, or that were maybe new for you to think about now?
No, this film is something that I have never done before, because the material that is made is about this walk in the conscience of the guy, and I know very well this guy. I designed this alter ego, to really, in a way, for me to explore all those memories and all those images and all those emotions and how I feel it, and to express that take courage and some deep introspection that end up as an intimate auto-fiction. And I think it's important because biographies, I don't believe in biographies. They are a lie. They are full of hypocrisy. I don't believe that. I think, in a way, reality, you have to, when you do fiction, you betray reality, but you betray the material of reality, because reality is very reductive, it's very subjective. But fiction, in a way, is striving, is getting to a higher truth. You understand what I mean? I think that's the most important, that's the ability of fiction. Because fiction, in a way, reveals what truth is hiding, I think that's a very important thing. So the way the licenses that I took was, this is an interpretation, a metaphor of emotions, contradictions, trying to rescue my own personal memories with the memories of the collective memories of my country that belongs to all of us in some weird, mysterious, spiritual or emotional territory that doesn't have nothing. The thing, and the most difficult thing, was to really get all those abstract things, to put them and turn them in an idea. And that idea then becomes a sequence, and that sequence how it blends together, and then to execute them. So the process of all this, I have never done that again. Because all the material was, again, I was looking outside, it's more tactile, it's more material. This one is an unmaterialistic kind of thing. That's why the film, in a way, hopefully has that quality that I was really trying to get.
I almost feel like you were sort of a Bardo between performances, as it were, between levels of performance, because you are dealing with some aspects of it that are autobiographical and some that are not. There's fiction, there's reality, and there's things that you're bringing to it as well. I'm wondering kind of where that sort of, kind of mishmash of performance and inspiration and looking at fiction and reality kind of came together for you. Were there aspects to it that felt more real than others in some ways in performance?
Yeah. It's a difficult question, because then we have to be sure what is fiction and what is reality, and there it's very hard to tell. But what happened, I'm sure that many things of my own life scene with the father, I just had the feeling that my father was like coming down, like, wow. And I said, oh, he's here. Wow, it's 11 years, I've never heard of you. And look, this is Alejandro. Wow, it was really strong, really strong. Since then, now, I've been talking to him more often, and we have now a better dialogue than we had before. So many things like that happen, and I don't know. It's I think the wisest thing is that do not separate reality from fiction or fantasy from fiction. It's a whole universe that has many ways to look at it, but it's better, I think, for me. It's better not to make this is real and this is fiction.
Don't you think that our life is fiction? Our lives are, we invent with
What we believe it is.
Our life are individual events, right? Singular events. And I think those events, the way we remember them, we accommodate to our emotional needs and the way we are growing with, and they are transforming every time, the way we are and the way we are transforming ourselves. And then we make sense of them. We create a narrative that is convenient for us. But that can be challenged. As we challenge sometimes our brothers, say, no, my mother said that, no, she never said that. Or all brothers and sisters, it was a different event. So our lives is, and the narratives of nations, all the stories of the countries are made of these things that obviously give us belong and identity and collective power, but they are made conveniently to create a narrative. But at the end, our life is much more mysterious than facts. We have these things. So what I'm saying is, fiction and reality are kind of the same thing.
I want to ask you something playing off that here and Jimena. The scene where you guys are the family is saying goodbye to Mateo in the ocean. It's so powerful and so beautifully shot. Great various times. It's an amazing film, an amazing shot, an amazing scene. But I'm wondering if the two of you as performers sort of felt something in that moment that maybe you felt yourselves being in some ways growing, in some ways that you weren't expecting from just acting that scene, being part of the film, being part of those emotions.
Actually, that scene, something really during the filming process, a lot of things like this happened to me, and I believe my mom told me when I was in her belly, she lost my brother there, and I never knew that until I was like 18, and she told me I lost a brother before I was born, and my whole childhood I had this. I cried every night for my brother, and my mom was like, how do you know that? How does he know? How does he know he lost his brother? Because he's crying every night for him, and he's the only child we have. And when we got to this part, I had a really strong, I was like shocked. I didn't even try to think about what to feel or what to express, or I was just like in shock. So you can see I'm just like standing with like a neutral face because I have like no feelings. I'm like in a total shock.
Jimena, how about you looking at that scene?
I didn't know that. For me, I remember feeling like I had to be there mostly for Priscilla, who's an incredible actress and woman, and we miss her today. She couldn't be here with us today, but I felt like I had to be there for my mom. Like, I remember just being like, she was breaking down, just being like, song for her, so I couldn't break down for her, or try not to, and also for my dad. That's what I'm thinking.
Amazing scene. And to wrap up, Alejandro, there's a quote that you have about Bergman that I really love. Bergman, we talk about that one of the things you love about it, that he was always in absolute contact with his emotions at just the right moment. And I feel like this film, like you said about this film as well, it hits us in emotions at just the right moment, I think. What would you like to take away from the film as you walk away from the theater?
Well, I think it's going to be a very different experience for each of them, because I think the film, even when it's in a way made from a very personal perspective, I think the film in a way express universal themes, right? I think the more personal and intimate is something, the more universal it is, because I think we share our emotions. Nor as Daniel or all of them, something that is very crazy is that in the casting process, I was looking in the eyes and I was trying to get their emotional baggage and the frequency. And beyond knowing, we know that Daniel is an amazing actor technically, but in the case of Iber has never done. For me, the most important is to feel that as even when these people was living here, when you see your friend, you recognize them. And funny enough is that as we start knowing each other in the process, most of the things that these characters are going through are incredibly similar to their own lives. A lot of things. It's striking, actually, really powerful to understand that casting as a director is the most stressful and most delicate thing. And when I found the right, not only the great actors, but the people and the persons and the humans that was really attached to that. That's why they make my life easy. I have to say, I think that the work they done was amazing. We rehearsed a lot. So it's the most controlled film that I have done in my life. The pre-production was 2 years, like sets and blocking, rhythm, the tone, the whole design of the lighting, and the whole thing was absolutely recurrent. And we rehearsed timing, technically it was really well. But the fact that these guys, in a way, then after they own that, the words of that, because they are attached to that emotional frequency so perfectly. What they did, and Daniel especially, he was carrying the film in the shoulders, and you see it, is to disappear the artifice of the thing and make it feel like everything is floating. And it was extremely difficult what these guys did, but they were just like gas, like invisible gas. Because I wanted that this film was lead through the ghost. That now we understand why everything feels like something is out of place, something is metaphysical, it's real, as dreams. Dreams are not hallucinations, they are real. Something's up. But that sensation that now we understand, the way they perform with no reacting or no big strokes, but just responding to things and observing things, is extremely difficult because it demands their presence. And as an actor, to be present is very difficult. I think because technique is easy. To be present when you have 100 people, crew members seeing you, and a guy with a camera here, and all that, and be present and be emotionally connected is, I don't know how they did it, but they did an incredible job. They make my life very easy and happy, and it was like butter. But as Daniel lived his own personal relations with he has his daughter and so as me, we have been 30 years marriage. The relation with his father, Jimena lived 20 years, right, in Dubai. So she's Mexican, but living in Dubai 20 years and speaking Spanish, but she was never Mexican. So when she arrived in Mexico, she was going through what he meant, what Camila is going. And I didn't know that when I cast her. So when I'm saying all these things that were happening to them, they made them personal. And it was not about my family, it was about them. And that's why it's the auto-fiction that is projected. And hopefully, I cannot say what I expect for them to take about this film, because again, I'm sure that all of you, if you have a relation with your son, with this adolescent that suddenly come, or your father that suddenly was lost, or a family member that you lost, all those things in a way, hopefully, these can be something that can be attached to each of them in a different way and make this film their own film. And that's what I would like. Thank you.